Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. My voice needs a little water. Got that peanut butter stuck in my throat. All right, let's try this again. Now that I got my radio voice going. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Representing Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness. Let's get this party started. You guys be sure to click a like when you roll in here. Get them engagements up. Clean shaven today. Fresh shave on my head. Fresh shave on my face. Looking handsome as fuck. Right? Oh yeah. Solid 10 out of 10, baby. Hey coach, are giant sets a good way to sneak in conditioning? No, they're a good way to need to up your steroid dose to recover. That's the benefit of giant sets. Make you use more gear to get the same muscle growth. Okay. If you want to get conditioning in, go do some conditioning work. Don't waste your hypertrophy training trying to do it and stuff like that. Okay. Because giant sets, again, if we're talking about the same muscle groups, they're not building any muscle beyond the first set. Smooth looking, coach. I appreciate that, man. Good to see you still rocking it, says Joshua. Should the big three become squat, military press, and deadlift? No. Why would you think that? The bench press uses more muscle, better test of strength, and it's easier on your shoulder joints. At least for me, it is. Right? I don't even overhead press anymore. R says evening. Hey, coach, you think people like Duchette can have opinions on morals when they sell scam supplements? That's a good question. Look, man, no person out there is entirely good or bad. Okay? People can do some things that are wrong and still have opinions on stuff like that. I just wouldn't buy anything from him, obviously. Right? Fair enough. Looking fresh out the matrix. Jason, I canceled my date with a girl today so I could attend your live stream. Darko, don't do that, man. Darko, don't do that. I mean, giant sets for antagonist muscles, but that's not a giant set. You're talking about a superset. Giant sets involve like 3+ exercises. Do you prefer a straight razor or a 5-blade razor? I use a 6-blade razor, actually. I have been for 7 or 8 years. Hey, coach, you ever going to upload content to your farm channel? No. Nope. I only keep it for the ability to copyright strike people on the automated system. That's probably the only reason I still keep it. Military press is functional. So is the bench press. Crystals, I have tons of videos about this. Go watch any of my videos I've made in the last couple of years on that topic. I've gone into vast detail. Do you think vegetarians are at a disadvantage? Okay. Ian, I think anyone who intentionally cuts out groups of food is at a disadvantage. I'm about to sneeze. Okay? Because you limit your options. That's like saying, do people who take out dumbbells out of their training completely, are they at a disadvantage because barbells are good? Okay. No, you're removing potential tools from the toolbox. It's stupid. Okay. If your goals are fitness, health, athleticism, things like that, removing tools from your toolbox is fucking stupid. All right. Period. All right. Darko, you're right. They probably are trolling. But I'm going to give him another chance. Thoughts on using dumbbells for 5 or no, I don't think you should be doing that. Our Kelly fan told you Darko would never cancel a chance for Punani. I mean, the dude's got a point. All right, Dash, we'll see if he does. I left the option open. Single hand half razors are much more economical. What are you talking about? How are you going to shave anything with that? Hey, coach, will optimal pressing and pulling volume be enough to grow the 3 delts without shoulder accessory pump work? It's going to depend on the person and what you're trying to do. That is not a straightforward answer. That's not a yes or no question. Coach looking like he's in his 30s, all shaved up. About to be 47. I'm closing in on 47 here. Do you also trim your eyebrows or just a beard? Mine are getting too bushy. No, man, this is my natural eyebrows, bro. Look, you can still see the unibrow in there. I don't pluck it. Of course, it's blonde. You can barely see it. No, I don't touch my eyebrows. Do women like the smooth hair? Women don't care, man. Women like both. When it comes to your facial hair, you tell them what they like. All right. Thoughts on more plates, more days, claiming that hydrogen doses can have physiological changes in men's sexual desires. Well, that would explain the bodybuilding world, but I don't know that I believe that. Thoughts on negative health effects of seed oils like canola? They're fat calories. That's the only negatives. That's it. Butter is still going to be a worse choice. I mean, if you look at the overall scientific literature. What are your thoughts on peaking for meat? Enrique, that's a complicated topic. There's a few different schools of thought that I've utilized for clients. You need to have a comprehensive plan. Like you don't just decide the final week what to do. What you do depends on what your previous training has looked like. Kevin, I think that you don't know what you're talking about. So I want you to tell her to be careful with her back a little. Kevin, have you seen the latest studies on back positioning and deadlifts and injury risk? Did you know that a rounded back is not actually considered an injury risk, even the full cat back? According to the researchers, it's a little bit of a nuanced topic. Coach, are cable tricep pull downs dangerous? What kind of question is that, Joel? Is your mama dangerous? That's all I gotta say back. I love the fact that you started doing current events videos again, upload informative videos more frequently. Yeah, it's good. It's good for the channel. Good for everybody. Thoughts on Boris Shako type of programming for powerlifting? I'm gonna agree with Winning on this. I think Shako has released stuff to come to the West purely to see if Americans are dumb enough to do it. Mukhtar, I've already discussed that in the vlogs. Radesh, knowing my birthday. I have the same birthday as Lane Norton. That's fucked up, but it's true. We have the same birthday, just different years. What are the top tips for anti-aging? Don't tan, for one. Don't spend a bunch of time tanning. That's actually the worst thing you could do, is to tan. If you care about looking old. Eat lots of antioxidants. Keep protein high. Keep antioxidants high in your diet. Lots of vegetables, lots of fruit. Finally, growth hormone. Coach, should I avoid the leg press machine? No. Well, you see my clients do them in vlogs all the time. So if I think the leg press is bad, why do I give it to my clients? Why do I prescribe it to my clients? It's been a long time since I've been on trend. You mentioned you're okay with a female client. No, I didn't say that, Darko. I just said I wasn't cool with male clients doing it. You guys interpreted that. I didn't actually say that. That was what you guys inferred when I said I don't want male clients to ever do that. Girl, I'm not answering questions like that. In fact, I feel like you being a troll, all things considered. Bye-bye. Even the evil doctor thinks it's weird you share a birthday. Fate is a funny thing. You know, Big Gain says, Lotaro guard, Jason. Lotaro, go back to you, man. Jason, you look different today, but I can't place it. Yeah, me either, man. I don't quite know what it is. I don't know what you're seeing. Coach, why do modern bodybuilders claim dumbbells superior due to the strength, but always half rep? Well, because they're fucking stupid. I mean, what other answer do you possibly have? Coach, what do you prescribe for a lifter that only cares about growing that dump truck? I should hope that you care about more than just growing the dump truck, but any sort of deep squatting movements and hip hinges, man. There you go. Do you typically play as a warrior in the Elder Scrolls game? I haven't been playing Elder Scrolls games. No, I tried everything in Skyrim, all sorts of builds. Hello, Jason. Do you think the RDL is better for building muscle than the conventional deadlift? No, they're just different tools in the toolbox. 2 weeks until Starfield. You going to pick it up? Well, that would cut into my guitar time. How do you handle a clingy female who won't stop calling and texting? Dude, that's just how your girl's going to be, right? A lot of girls are like that, man. Just run with it. I mean, is the pussy good? You know, it's the price you pay. It's all good. Thoughts on Durian Rod? Durian's the same. I thought he was older than me. Do you enjoy your current diet? I mean, I enjoy food, Future. Just in general, I like all food. So any of my diets work for that, for enjoyment. Have you ever had a job? No, Joe, you guys know that I have had other jobs, right? You know that I've worked in hydrogen and natural gas. You know that I've worked in sales. This isn't new information. Those are games, actually, Louis. Those are for my Xbox Series X that I have not played. Have you ever worked at a gym? Yes, actually, part-time. All right. I guess you can handle a welder then. No, I didn't weld. I didn't weld at my job. Welding was a specialty. We hired people for that. Okay. Given the nature of that industry, everything was specialized. You didn't do 37 different jobs. You had people who were specifically welders who were brought in on contracts. We did not do welding, any of the mechanics or any of the field guys. All right. Have you ever heard of Oliver Anthony? Nope. Coach opinions on getting 400 grams of carbs for working out. Working about who is Coach Sam? I think the amount of carbs you need before you train is very individual. It's not a set number. Okay. Yes, I was successful as a salesman. I did pretty well. Is there a significant difference between choosing standing cable crunches, standing band crunches for abs outside of training? It's a nuanced topic. Yes, there's obviously differences, but you can't say that one is better than the other. Lifter dies. Says, Jason, I have this problem. I'm a personal trainer. One of my clients was sending me their nudes. Explanation for this is to see how his reduction is going. Yeah, you need to tell him it's inappropriate, right? You need to tell him it's inappropriate. Not going to fly. Would using high frequency training to disperse volume more evenly throughout the week necessarily cause overuse? Yes, it can. I believe that it can potentially cause more overuse. Is cereal before a workout good because of the quick carbs? Yeah, it can be pretty good, depending upon your insulin sensitivity and things like that. Okay, different question. Thoughts on bulking diet being 65% carbs recommended? I don't think you can put it down to those percentages like that either. I don't think really high carb is a bad approach. I don't think carbs being the dominant macronutrient is a bad approach for clean bulking. But if you're looking for set percentages, I don't think you have to follow that. Is a daily surplus or weekly surplus more important? Nuanced, Darko. That's a very nuanced question. Joe, you know I don't have children that we know about. As my sister always said, I probably have a few we don't know about. But my pull-out game was usually on point. Coach, is saturated fat from milk and eggs healthy? Saturated fat is not healthy. It's just that you have an amount you can handle with no negative health effects, right? Meaning in moderation, saturated fat is not harmful. It's probably no more harmful than zero. Just eat it in moderation. But saturated fat itself is not necessarily healthy. It's probably the worst calorie you can eat in terms of health, right? Mukhtar, what are you talking about? Your sister? Okay. Let's just get rid of the nonsense. Do you recommend walking after working out? I need to lose some fat. I know lots of people who recommend that. I think it's overrated, in my opinion. You lose body fat by burning more calories than you consume. If the walking after eating helps you achieve that, then it's useful. Is chocolate milk after a workout beneficial? Are you fasted? That's what the studies were on fasted people. And yes, if you're fasted, chocolate milk is a great post-workout. It's a bit overhyped if you have eaten before you train. So if we have a limit, no, they don't have. All right, let's go back over to the point. If saturated fat in moderation is not harmful, then vegans do not have it right because they're telling you to eat no animal product. Vegans are telling you that grilled chicken breast is evil. Okay? If they're going to say from a health perspective that it is, then they're fucking idiots. See how simple that is? Because that's provably false. I mean, just call it what it is. I mean, what else can you say to such a provably false statement? Other than someone is just fucking stupid. Because if you allow an ideology to cloud your ability to look at the most simple objective data, then you're probably dumb. It's not even a question of their morals or anything else at that point. What are your opinion on pit bulls? They're just a breed of dogs, man. Technically, they're they're a category of breeds. I think the negative thoughts on pit bulls have been overhyped, honestly. My opinion. Does chocolate milk come from bound cows? According to 30% of Americans, it does, but that's not how it works. No, it's chocolate added to the milk. Hey, coach, what do you think current fitness influencers are aiming for everything? We see they do everything. Yeah, most of them do everything for the money, obviously. That is their primary motivation. Is deadlift still your favorite lift? Yes, it is. Coach, is a little bit of olive oil for cooking or topping a chicken, broccoli, brown rice meal okay? It's just a question of what the context of your whole diet is. Okay. Thoughts on 2.5 to 5 milligrams Cialis pre-workout? I think the pump aspect, I mean, yes, that apparently does cause pumps. I've heard this from many, many, many lifters. I don't know that there's an actual benefit to that. Like, I don't know if that actually legitimately causes more muscle growth. It's my opinion. I don't think there's necessarily evidence for that. Seems like a waste of Cialis, personally. And if you're going to take a drug specifically just for pumps, it's not even adding to your gains, deal with side effects, you know? Hey, Jason, thoughts on the 3-day split, 1 LB upper, 1 LB lower, and then a full body SPD repetition method day? I don't know. I actually, for kanji, you guys like to slide them down to 3-day to where you do all of the stuff on separate days when I program it personally. Coach, is honey healthy? Any thought using pre-workout? Okay. Honey comes down to what's your fructose load, what's your total fructose load look like in your diet, what's your fiber intake look like. It is a quantitative question, not a yes or no. Right? Now, it is technically in a lot of ways a refined sugar with some added antioxidants. So again, it comes down to the total context and balance of your overall diet. Is cholesterol unhealthy? Subject to genetics. Dietary cholesterol for the majority of people, keep in mind, dietary cholesterol is not saturated fat. Right? Coconut oil is saturated fat but has no cholesterol. It still has the effect of saturated fat in the body. So please separate the two when you ask the question. Let's not get them confused. Cholesterol elevating LDL is based on genetics. So I don't know if it's unhealthy for you or not. If I recall, it's around 30% of the population it can elevate it. The other 70% it doesn't. What percentage of speed work do you recommend these days? It depends entirely upon the bar speed of the lifter and what's going on in the training. I don't have a set number. I start a lot of people at 50% and then assess. What muscles do muscle ups work? Who cares? It's a big multiple show off lift. It's limited. It's going to be limited in terms of effectiveness to only one of the two movements. Therefore, it's not a good building exercise, right? It's like saying I'm going to go over and do a row then a bench press rep back to back with the exact same weight. Well, if you're perfectly balanced, maybe, but otherwise one of those is going to be the limit. And you're going to turn the other into jump volume. Coach, I like your Greek yogurt, nut berry, and exercise, blah, blah, blah. How many grams of Greek yogurt did you eat in a day? I don't know the exact number, man. It varied day to day. It was a lot. I eat a lot of Greek yogurt now, though. And in fact, I actually had that exact thing today. I had it today with almond butter, cherries, and fat-free Greek yogurt. Like frozen cherries mixed in. Thoughts on Connor Murphy saying Natty or Enhance is more of a spectrum than one or the other? I've been saying that longer than he's been on YouTube. So he stole that line from me. Do you have any plans to buy a new? I don't have the room. I don't have enough space to add anything else, man. Will you ever try? I'm not interested in calisthenics. Coach, I could use your help. I find myself overeating due to depression. How do you get over your food addiction, depression you gained? Joel, that's more of a therapy question, man. I'm not going to be able to really help you. Yeah, Mukhtar, that can't be right. 2 months between lifting due to dental work? No, I don't think so. Tell your doctor to eat a dick. I think you made that up, by the way. Are you still? I haven't had any bananas this week, actually, Colin. See how that works, Colin? I don't actually eat always the same thing. I adjust what I'm eating in my diet week to week. I haven't had any bananas this week. Now, do I think that amount of fructose? It's very hard for fruit to create enough fructose in your diet to be a problem. Yeah. Is prolonged isolation terrible for mental health? It is prevalent today based on the stats. Yes, it is. It is bad for your mental health. Is there any benefit to being able to do a lot of hanging leg raises, sit-ups, crunches for powerlifting? Stronger abs, not a bad thing, right? It's having a stronger core is not a bad thing. Joel, that's been so long that I don't know that I could break that down, man. You know what I mean? And everyone's individual circumstance is different. Like at this point, I don't even have an answer for you. Like even if we were chatting one-on-one and I wasn't caught up in a live stream, I would have to sit there and think on that for a while, even if it was you and I chilling as friends. Coach, I don't do current events on anyone unless you guys follow my instructions and send me the link to it and explain what it is and why you want me to cover it. Right? Make my job easier, man. I really don't have time to run all this stuff down. So you guys, please, if you want me to cover it, send it to me. Coach, is rancid fish oil is a problem? How do you put it in the freezer? Put it in the freezer. That's what you should do. Jason, thoughts on Sam Saluk? I had multiple people link me his stuff this week. Several people. I'm going to check it out and discuss it him probably by the end of the week. Okay. I've had a ton of requests on that one within the last day. Actually, I got like 5 people sent me links to his stuff saying, please cover him. This guy's using all this, they broke it down. I don't have thoughts because I haven't dug into it deep enough to give you my thoughts yet. But it is the most popular requested current event right now. Is fat-free milk, skim milk a healthy choice? No, it's fine. Check this out. Even minutes equals 5 chin-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 bodyweight squats, odd minutes, burpees, repeat. Sounds like a Metcon of some type. What do you reckon the 405 is coming through? It is close. It's going to take a bit weird because I'm not getting the calories in the gain. It's been stressful. Okay. Thoughts on Michael Hearn? Could you be very specific? I mean, do we want to spend a whole hour discussing Michael Hearn? So I have a lot of thoughts on Michael Hearn. Ask me something specific. Coach, opinion on Mike Minzer saying the underhanded pull down is the best lap. I think that we can debunk that just straight up. We can throw that right out the window. Do board press have carryover to raw benching? Depends on the lifter. Jason, on your Gear Talk videos, part 1 and 2, do you think the lower dose approach can work for someone who's used PEDs for a number of years? I don't know. I'm still making gains. Any way to target excess fat trapped in the belly area? You just have to lose fat, man. Do you do zone 2 cardio? I don't actually track all that stuff of the different zones. I know you used to drink tons of diet soda. Do you not like it anymore? You just suddenly stop? Yeah, no, it's not a health issue. I just prefer not to drink it, mainly just because it bloats my stomach a little sometimes. I actually just drink water. I drink black coffee first thing in the morning, and then I drink water through the rest of the day. I mean, I may add diet soda back in if I want to feel more satiety, but I'm struggling to get enough food in. So it would be the exact opposite of what I want to do. Would you ever do a Dave Tate's table talk if Dave wanted me on? I don't know that Dave Tate wants me on his table talks. I think Dave Tate's great, and I think he does great work. Nothing more to be said about it. I think he's one of the best coaches out there. Joe, there's always crazy comments. You just ban them. Don't worry about it. Don't discuss them, though, or I just assume you're one of them and just get rid of you, too. Do you advise a novice to never train to muscle failure? I mean, I wouldn't say never. It's going to happen on occasion. They should get pretty close. But if they just follow the programming of any written novice program and how you progress on those, they should be good. Novices should not be writing their own programs. What body fat percentage is ideal for women, you think? I've been hearing different things. I think that depends on the woman, man. I don't think that's a set number. I mean, what are you talking about? Health? Are you talking about attractiveness? Because, different women carry weight different than others. There are women who can be quite heavy and still be a knockout, just the way they carry it, So again, that's not a straightforward thing. Thoughts on bodybuilder Joel Killett saying slow concentric is the best way to build muscle? Provably false statement. We don't need thoughts on that. We have labs to debunk that. Thanks for answering my question. Really appreciate your advice and opinions. You're welcome. Jason, are you a fan of canola oil? Not particularly, but it's certainly very far from the worst fat you could eat. I'm not a huge fan of highly processed fats in general, though. Jason, do you think about Ken by saying he struggled a lot in his childhood while having a millionaire dad? I've already discussed that in another one. Hey, dude, you don't know the struggles he had, man. He had to when he was in high school, man, he had to have a 2-year-old Mercedes. A 2-year-old Mercedes. Not new, not right off the showroom. He got a 2-year-old used hand-me-down Mercedes, having to drive that to school when he's 16. You don't know the struggles. You don't know that type of struggle. Be stuck with a 2-year-old Mercedes as your first car. Fuck, dude. I don't know how he survived that. Like, how do you even go on when you had those type of struggles, man? You don't know what it's like in them streets where he was. I'm a martial artist training 5 hours a day. I eat about 4,000 calories a day. I'm 5'9", but I still lose a pound a week unless I incorporate junk. You're going to have to incorporate junk in that case. In your case, you are the person who needs to say, clean eating is probably not a good idea. For you, it's not, brother. And it's just because your workload is so high. Plus the fact that all that conditioning you're doing and rolling, you can't have a stomach full of whole foods. You need that calorically dense food. You're the person who would benefit from eating McDonald's. You're in a badass echelon. Hey, man, that's how it goes. How do I integrate a random number? Oh, it's all scrolling up this. We're getting buried here. Right? Joel, I have increased fats. Actually, I changed it around. I've been adding more fat, but there's just a point where it's just getting the food in, and plus the heat just kills my appetite. Like, even after training in it, I don't want to eat the rest of the day. And I know that sounds crazy coming from me, but keep in mind how high my calorie needs are. Okay. I have to eat 4,500 calories to gain weight. All right. The Coomer, if I just ate chicken, brown rice, and vegetable, I get shredded. I don't know, man. It's going to depend on a lot of factors. Opinion on Keno Body making his own method called Keno Ramp Up Sets. It's just basically just ramping up sets. Yeah. What brand of EDC holster do you recommend? Alien Gear. He inherited his dad's money so he could kickstart his business, showing off luxury lifestyles like living in a villa and driving luxury cars at a young age. Marco, dude, you don't know the struggles that he dealt with, man. You don't know what sort of streets he lived on. People roll up on you with Gucci Glocks, diamond bullets, Everybody's all high on high-grade cocaine. You don't know, man. You don't know his struggles. You ever had somebody shoot diamonds at you? Think you're going to start your novice 2.8 program soon. I possibly made every mistake possible, especially when it comes to overtraining. So it would be pretty difficult not to train to failure. Follow the progression. I have T-Rex arms with a 13.5. Do I have bad genetics? I don't know. If you think you have bad genetics, though, the research says that you will make less gains, even if you have good genetics, if you believe you have bad genetics. How do I integrate a random number generator? I just did them on a spreadsheet. That's how I used to do it. And just find an online random number generator. You got 20 lifts, have it pick 1 to 20. Bam, you're done. How would winning powerlifting competitions improve someone's life? They enjoy it. That's it. How do you integrate a random number generator? We already covered that. Jason, is incline bench necessary? No, it's just another tool in the toolbox. It's a great lift. It's a great accessory movement. It's a great assistance movement. It's both. But it's not necessary. Coach, is there any merit to Kenny Body's reverse? No. If you're hyper palatable, that yeah, Colin, it's easy in that case, but I'm not wanting to add a bunch of junk. That's what I was doing. I was adding table sugar, like sugar refined foods and stuff at a certain point, just trying to get the calories in. And I'm just like, I don't want to do that. Base kicker, I know you already, that's it. You go on silly shit like that. Louis Simmons says, get your good morning as strong as your squat. It's good morning, a weight the same as your squat, a higher risk exercise. No, I don't think that it's higher risk. How would winning a bodybuilding competition improve someone's life? I don't know. Do you still like the floor press rep work? Yeah, for some clients. Do you own a massage gun? Yes, I do. I own a couple. Get a sip of the water in between them breaks. Coach, should I shoot for greatness and risk? Well, train smart, right? Train smart. That's it. How squatty good mornings are acceptable? Fine. The heavier I go, the squattier they seem. Jason, should you invite a girl back to your place on the first date? Just see if she wants to go back, or if she invites you into her place, man. It's not, all right, this is not complicated. Let me reiterate what I've said in many of these before. Your generation is the first generation in the history of the entire planet that has ever struggled to get laid. This is a completely modern problem because you guys lack social skills and you overthink the simplest things. Like, do you really need to put that much thought into that question? The fact that you even need to ask or put thought into that question is the problem. That's why you're the first generation in the history of the human race that has struggled to get pussy. That's it. That's why. All right. It's not that complicated. If she wants to go back to your place, she'll go back to your place, or she'll invite you to her place. It's very straightforward. It's that simple. Is water quality in Texas good to drink unfiltered? I have a water filter on my fridge now. Future, that was told to me by a fitness model who I knew personally. One girl. She said that she didn't mean anything. Now, I don't know if that's true. That's what she said. You know, that's what she said. Yeah. All right. All right. Derek, stop using those guys as extreme examples. That's not necessarily the norm. Train smart. Avoid overuse. Don't do dumb stuff. Okay. I have whole videos on programming and those things. You'll be okay. It's weird because I thought being jacked doesn't give guys more confidence. It doesn't always, because if they start obsessing over if they look good or not, if they're insecure, it does the opposite. You perform any isometrics for tendon stiffness? No, I don't actually. Everything is dynamic for me. Hey, Jason, you say getting married is worth it. I guess that depends on the individual situation, right? No, I think getting married for most guys eventually is a good idea. If it all works out for you, meet the right woman. Some jack guys become so insecure that they actually act smaller than when they were skinny. That's true. What was your first job out of high school? Natural gas compressor mechanic. It was my very first job. And I did it off and on seasonally for years and years and years. Well, I don't think we need to have thoughts on Cali muscles nonsense. All right, guys, we're about 41 minutes. I'm going to run this just a little longer. It's too hot for me to do cardio. I'm struggling to get enough food in, so I'm having to be careful of stuff like that. I mean, other than, things that are mandatory. A lot of powerlifters like the Larson press. What do you think of it? It's just another tool in the toolbox. I think done incorrectly, it can be risky because of the possible strain on tendons. But if you got it balanced good and you like it, I think it can be a good pec builder. But it's just another tool in the toolbox. That's it. I don't love it or hate it. No, Joel, I did not sell compressors. That's a completely different type of sales. Keep in mind, these compressors last like 60, 70 years. Okay. We were in the business of rebuilding them, maintaining them. So, and again, keep in mind, when you're talking about a natural gas compressor, I don't know if you realize how big and expensive that is. Like, it's not what you're thinking of. Oh, the size of this desk. No, it's bigger than your house. So it's millions and millions of dollars for one of them. And there's usually multiple of them in a room. Jason, do you still think tables and machines? No, I haven't thought that in a very, very, very long time. You're like 10 years behind. Coach, thoughts on low volume, high intensity? I don't think about Mike Menzer at all. I made a video that's going to come up in the rotation answering that, actually. It might be a couple weeks. I got plenty of sleep, Greg. It's just, it is hot. I felt pretty well recovered today. The workout today went good. Joel, none of that's relevant. I don't want to keep talking about old work history, right? Yes, it's definitely a shark pit, though. I have been in the shark pit. Believe me, I know. But that's so far in the past that I don't want to talk about it in a fitness thing. But yeah, you are right. High pressure sales when you're competing with other salesmen, you got to be a little cutthroat. I've done full videos in vast detail explaining that. Do short lifters look jacked easier on camera? Future. Keep in mind, looking jacked on camera is not the same as looking jacked walking down the street. Guys who are 6'2" are going to tend to look bigger than guys who are 5'5", even if the lifting experience is very skewed in the other direction. That's just the reality of it. Okay. In other words, a 6'5" guy who started lifting 30 days ago is still going to look bigger walking down the street than Alpha Destiny or Jeff Nippert. Okay. Because he is bigger. I think Shark Tank calling is oftentimes the word used, but I think you could call it a shark pit or a snake pit too. Jason, thoughts on people who use minoxidil for beard growth? Just don't shave it, man. Just quit shaving it; it'll grow. All right. Yeah, Joel, those people are weird. People who care about the personal lives of their favorite YouTubers, it's weird. It really is, dude. It's kind of creepy. Speaking as someone who's had to deal with a lot of stalkers, I personally find it creepy. All right. Looks like the questions have slowed down. We're at 45 minutes, a good point to wind it down. Max, I've already answered that one like 6 times in lives. It's nonsense. All right. So I hope it's been informative. I love all of you guys, and I will talk to you next time. And you gals too, in case there's any women watching.